In this chapter, students will have their first experience with angles. They will learn how to measure, identify, and create angles. In previous lessons, students learned about rays. A ray is a portion of a line that has a specific endpoint and extends infinitely in one direction. An angle is the union of two rays with a shared vertex. An angle measure is the amount of turn between the two rays. Students will recognize that angle measures can be static, like this image, or they can fluctuate, such as a door opening. Students will first experience measuring angles using smaller angles. The smaller angles are manually iterated to find how many iterations are needed to fill the angle. For example, let's use a 15-degree angle to measure the angle. It will take 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the 15-degree angle measures to make the angle. The angle measures 60 degrees. This lays the foundation for understanding the purpose of degrees. Students will then move on to discovering the relationship between angles and circles. They will use this understanding to identify angle measure in terms of fractions of a rotation. Here is a circle divided into 360 portions. 1/360th of this circle is known as 1 degree in angles. So 60 360ths is also known as 60 degrees, or 60 iterations of 1 degree. Students must first understand what an angle is before they can move on to successfully measuring with a protractor. These understandings will be used to help students reason where to line up the vertex and zero line on a protractor. Knowing an angle is a turn, students can then determine which number on the protractor should be referenced to identify the angle's measure. Let's use a protractor to measure this angle. Start by lining up the zero line on the protractor and line it up with the side of the array that did not move, so the center is on the vertex of the angle. The angle measure is 90 degrees. After students have been given adequate time to identify and measure angles, they will problem solve with angles in two different formats. One is identifying unknown angle measures in a diagram, as seen here, and the other is in a story problem form, as seen here. This encourages students to rely on their reasoning and understanding of angles rather than just their ability to measure using a protractor. In this chapter, students will have their first experience with angles. They will learn how to measure, identify, and create angles. This concept builds on students' work with fractions and supports an understanding of geometric figures discussed in upcoming units.